Hello, good evening. This is DCN English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Hoi Kim Hong Sai. First, the headlines. Christmas celebrations conclude successfully despite challenges. Attacks on the Kuki villages amid Christmas season. President Murmu appoints new governors for Manipur, Mizoram, Kerala, Bihar and Odisha. Invisible hand fell in violence in Manipur, says former Chief Justice of Manipur High Court. News in detail. Christmas celebrations in the region came to a close yesterday with various churches and communities organizing festivities to mark the birth of Jesus Christ. Despite the ongoing ethnic conflicts, the Christmas period remained unbroken, with people from both the hills and towns coming together to celebrate. The relief games, which have been set up to accommodate those displaced by the conflict, also witnessed joyful celebrations, thanks to the initiative of local leaders. Church leaders emphasize the significance of Jesus Christ's birth, which embodies peace and harmony, and encourage the community to spread love and unity in their daily lives. The celebrations were largely peaceful, with no major incidents reported. However, some areas experienced disturbances and retaliations from enemies throughout the night. The Kuki Christian Leaders Fellowship (KCLF) has expressed gratitude to the community for heeding their advice to celebrate Christmas for just one day. The organizations also urge all churches to prepare for the upcoming New Year celebrations, adopting the theme of unity. With the Christmas celebrations coming to a close, the community looks forward to a peaceful and harmonious New Year. A gunfight broke out between combined Meitei armed groups and Kuki village volunteers in Manipur's Imphal East district on Wednesday morning. As per sources, the combined team of Arambai Tingle, UNLF, backed by the state commando, opened fire from the foothill of Gangpokpi district, targeting the Sinamkom village where Kuki village volunteers are stationed. Kuki village volunteers deployed at the foothills retaliated, leading to the gunfight, they said. Additional security forces were deployed in the area following the incident, the sources added. No injuries have been reported so far. On Tuesday night, a gunfight broke out between armed and security forces at Thamnapokpi and nearby Uyokching in Imphal East, the sources also added. More than 250 people have been killed and thousands rendered homeless in ethnic violence between Meiteis and Kuki-Zo groups in Manipur since May last year. Former Union Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhala was on Tuesday appointed the governor of strife-torn Manipur, which have been witnessing periodic ethnic clashes between Meiteis and Kuki groups since May last year. Former Army Chief Vijay Kumar Singh, who was also a minister in the last two terms of the Modi government, has been named the new Mizoram governor, while Kerala Governor Arif Mohammed Khan has been shifted to Bihar, where assembly elections are due next year. Viswanath Arlekar has been named the new governor of Kerala, according to the gubernatorial appointments to 5 states announced by the Rashtrapati Bhavan on Tuesday. Bhala, who has the rare distinction of being the longest-serving Union Home Secretary, completed his 5-year tenure in August this year. He is a 1984 batch retired Indian Administrative Service IAS officer of the Assam-Meghalaya Gadget. President Draupadi Murmu appointed Bhala the governor of Manipur. A statement issued by the Rashtrapati Bhavan said. Assam Governor Laxman Prasad Acharya was holding the additional chairs of Manipur. General retired Vijay Kumar Singh has been appointed Mizoram governor. Singh retired as Army Chief in 2012 after a long-drawn battle with the governor over his age issue and joined the BJP ahead of the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, which he successfully contested from the Ghaziabad in Uttar Pradesh. He retained the Ghaziabad seat in 2019. Singh did not contest general elections this year. Kerala Governor Arif Mohammed Khan has been appointed as Bihar Governor, the statement said. President Murmu has also accepted the resignations of Odisha Governor Raghubar Das. Mizoram Governor Haribabu Kambhampati has been appointed as the new Odisha Governor in place of Das, the statement said. These appointments will take effect from the days they will assume charge of their respective offices, it added. The KSOSH issued a press statement as the Senapati Distinct Students Associations SDSA failed to uphold the understanding and agreed position between the Committee on Tribal Unity (COTU) and the Naga People's Organization, reached on November 21, 2024. As late-night talk between COTU and MPO yielded no positive results, as DSA volunteers detained Kuki individuals traveling home for Christmas and New Year celebrations at Mao Gate since December 23, 2024, despite requests for free passage. Due to safety and security concerns, the KSOSH hereby informs the general public and all Kuki students to evacuate Senapati district immediately. Halt travel to Senapati for any reason, education, marketing, medical, etc., until the unnecessary commotions caused by the SDSA is resolved amicably. Refrain from pursuing further education in Senapati. This advisory remains in place until an understanding is reached between the Manipur Nagas of Senapati district and the Kukis of Kangpuk Pister Hills district. Former Chief Justice of Manipur High Court Siddharth Mridul on Tuesday, December 24, 2024 said that there seems to be an invisible hand behind the ongoing ethnic violence in Manipur. He said that whenever the situation appears to return to normalcy, someone injects a fresh dose of violence. Whose hand is it? It is not clear to me yet. There could be a number of factors at play, Justice Mridul said, adding that even with 60,000 boots on the ground, the government is unable to restore law and order, asserting that peace and normalcy must return to Manipur. He pointed out, if we wait for conflict fatigue to settle in, there will be nothing left to protect. Justice Mridul was speaking at a panel discussion, Understanding the Barriers of Northeast India and Manipur Violence, The Way Forward, organized by TEMP Manipur, Meitei Alliance and Manipur International Youth Center. Manipur has been affected by ethnic violence between the Kuki and the Meitei people since May 3, 2023. More than 250 people have been killed, and more than 60,000 people have been displaced from their homes. Flashing hyperinflation and soaring unemployment in the state, Justice Mridul, who retired on November 21st, said that every time I flew back to Imphal from Delhi, I used to carry vegetables with me. Besides the jobs with the government and the universities, there is no employment in the valley. There is no demand. There is such pricings everywhere. The only way to reach the valley is to be airdrop. Only a handful of flights operating from Delhi for Imphal. He suggested that the internally displaced persons from both the communities be provided security to go back to their homes. I have visited relief camps. The constant refrain I hear is that we want to go back home. Is that too much to ask the powers that be that every individual who is residing in these relief camps be returned to their homes and be accorded protections not only for their lives but also for their property and livelihood? There are approximately 60,000 people in relief camps. We have more than 60,000 boots on the ground, and we were to even constitute the outrageous idea of protecting every individual. It will be sufficient, he said. He said he hoped that the Manipur violence is not part of grand design to destabilize the Northeast region. Arambam Noni, Associate Professor, DM University, Imphal, said that institutions were losing legitimacy due to perception politics. Another speaker highlighted that due to the conflict, Manipur's economy has taken a backseat and it may take up to 30 years to reach pre-May 2024 level. Most public schools have been converted to relief centers and youths have taken arms to protect lives and territory. National highways, the lifeline of states, have been closed since the violence began. This directly impacts transportation and communications sector, resulting in skyrocketed prices of commodities. The inflation is 100%. Poor are most affected. As highways are shut, everyone in Valley is dependent on airports to commute. There has been around 400% hike in airfares for Manipur flights. The two communities are still at loggerheads. The Manipur conflict sometimes appears to have been capitalized and politicized by certain elements. They like to keep the pot boiling, say Professor M. Amarjit Singh, Jamia Millia Islamia University. Mizoram police on Tuesday said 5 more persons have been arrested for allegedly beating a man to death near Aizawl over allegations of stealing money. The 5 Village Defense Party (VDP) members were taken into custody on Monday night, taking the total number of arrests in the case to 7, police added. The incident had taken place at Tuireal Airfield area, around 19 kilometers east of Aizawl, on December 18 night. On Sunday, police arrested 2 VDP members for allegedly beating David Lalmonpuya, a waste laborer and rat picker, to death. A case of culpable homicide has been registered under sections 105/355 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita (BNS) following a complaint filed by David's family, police said. According to David's mother, Nungthang Moi, her son was taken from their home by the VDP members on suspicion of involvement in a burglary at the local pastor's quarters. David and his friend Lalduk Saka were allegedly beaten by VDP members for several hours after the pastor reported that 26,000 was stolen from his quarters, police said. When David was found unconscious, he was rushed to a hospital in Aizawl, where he succumbed to his injuries in the early hours of December 19, police added. David's death has sparked public outrage, with many demanding strings and punishment for the perpetrators and blaming the pastor for allegedly abating the killing. Home Minister K. Sabdanga expressed regret over the incident and assured that legal actions will be taken against those responsible. India has made significant strides in reducing its malaria burden, with cases plummeting from 75 million at the time of independence in 1947 to just 2 million in 2023, according to the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. There have been seen an even more striking decline, dropping from 8 lakh annually to only 83 last year, a reduction of 99.99%. The ministry's statement on Wednesday highlighted the nation's tireless efforts over the past 75 years to tackle one of its most pressing public health challenges. At independence, malaria was rampant, with millions affected annually. Today, India stands as a global example, having exited the World Health Organization's WHO high burden to high impact HBHI group, as per the WHO's latest World Malaria Report 2024. This remarkable achievement underscores India's determination to eliminate malaria and improve public health outcomes, the ministry emphasized. The country aims to achieve malaria-free status by 2030, a vision supported by significant advances in public health interventions and disease management strategies. India's progress is evident in the movement of states of lower to lower malaria burden categories. Between 2015 and 2023, new malaria cases dropped by 80% from 11,69,261 to 2,27,564. Notably, 122 districts reported no new malaria cases in 2023, marking a major stride toward eliminations. States such as Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Meghalaya have moved to Category 2 by significantly reducing their caseloads, while regions like Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, and Dadra and Nagar Haveli now report less than 1 case per 1,000 populations annually. Ladakh, Lakshadweep, and Puducherry have achieved Category 0 status, indicating zero indigenous cases and qualifying for subnational malaria eliminations verification. The success is attributed to India's robust, multifaceted strategy, including enhanced surveillance, early detection systems, timely interventions, and improved treatment protocols. As India ages closer to its 2030 goal of malaria eradications, the sharp decline in cases and deaths stand as a testament to the nation's commitment to improving public health and tackling endemic diseases head-on. A young woman who was stabbed by her alleged lover succumbed to her injuries on December 26th. The woman, identified as Mausami Gogoi, was stabbed early today morning by her alleged lover, identified as Bhupen Das, in Guwahati's Last Gate area. A CCTV footage recording the incident was retrieved by police. According to initial reports, Gogoi was waiting outside her rented accommodations for a reputable bike when a man in a Swift Gear car approached her, attacked her with a knife, and fled the scene. The victim was subsequently arrested at the hospital. As per sources, Gogoi had filed a police complaint against her alleged lover at Pan Bazar police station, fearing for her life. She mentioned in the complaint that her alleged lover had threatened her with dire consequences. Meanwhile, Bhupen Das has been arrested by police near a housing complex in Guwahati. Report claims that Das inflicted self-injury by attempting suicide. Authorities are actively investigating the incident and making efforts to identify and apprehend the attacker. The attack has further raised concern about the increasing number of stabbing incidents in the city. Assam Director General of Police DGP GP Singh addressed the matter on social media, confirming that the assailant has been apprehended. The DGP further disclosed that the individual has inflicted self-stabbed wounds and is currently receiving medical treatment at a hospital. Massive flooding could submerge major cities and regions across northeast India and Bangladesh if China completes its yearlong dam project and releases water, Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu warned on December 26th. The stark assessment came as local protests intensify against India's proposed countermeasure. The 11,000 megawatt Siang multipurpose project, Pashighat, Guwahati, and even Bangladesh will face devastating floods if China releases stored water from their dam, Khandu said, addressing growing concern about upstream Chinese hydroelectric developments on the Sangpur River, which flows into India as the Siang and later joins the Brahmaputra. The potential flood impact is severe. Technical assessment indicate Pashighat could be submerged under 12 meters of water, while Guwahati faces up to 5 meters of flooding. These projections have accelerated India's push for the Siang project as a defensive measure. State officials frame the Siang project as critical infrastructure serving multiple purposes: flood control, water security, and power generations. Development plan includes social infrastructures like hospitals, colleges, and improved road connectivity. However, local opposition have emerged in several villages along the Siang belt. Deputy Chief Minister Chona May defended the recent deployment of Central Security Forces in the region, stating they were only protecting survey equipment and personnel. We are not anti-people, nor are we anti-Arunachal, May emphasizes. While villagers protest potential displacement and ecological damage, state leadership maintains that the project is essential to prevent China from potentially wielding water as a strategic weapon. This is crucial for national security and to prevent our river from drying up, Khandu stressed, noting China's ongoing constructions of a 60,000 megawatt project upstream. As tensions persist, state officials continue calling for dialogue with affected communities while emphasizing the project's defensive necessity against emerging water security threats. 5 soldiers lost their lives and as many others were injured after an army vehicle skid off the road and rolled down into nearly 300 feet deep gorge in Balnoy area, near the line of control in Mandar subdivisions of Pons district this evening. A defense spokesperson ruled out any terror angle but maintained that the cause of the accident is being ascertained, but possibly the driver lost control at the turn of the road. He said the accident occurred in Balnoy area of Mangkoti Tehsil, where a convoy of 6 vehicles was on its way to a forward location at around 5:30 p.m. The spokesman added that the rescue team have recovered 5 bodies from the gorge, which was nearly 300 feet deep. The injured soldiers have been shifted to the field hospital in Pons. He said 81 of them is in critical condition. A 2.5-ton vehicle, part of a convoy of 6 vehicles, while moving on the operational track in forward locations of Balnoy, went off the road and fell into a deep gorge. Operational track is on the home side of the log fence, the defense spokesperson said. He said the 5 soldiers lost their lives on the spot, and the conditions of one of the injured was serious at Army Base Hospital Punj. These 5 injured are undergoing treatment at Pons Hospital. A few are likely to be airlifted to Command Hospital tomorrow morning. The Army, meanwhile, ruled out terrorism angle to the incident. A terrorist initiated the incident, positively ruled out after confirming from ground sources. Our post is approximately 130 m from the incident site and backup vehicle was barely 40 meters away, he said. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has expressed shock over the loss of lives of the army personnel due to tragic road accidents in Punj. In a condolence message, the Lieutenant Governor has said, "I am deeply pained by the loss of lives of our brave army personnel due to tragic vehicle accidents in Punj sector. My condolences to the bereaved families and prayers for the speedy recovery of the injured." Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has also expressed deep sorrow and heartfelt condolences over the death of 5 soldiers in the road accident. The Chief Minister extended his deepest sympathies to the bereaved families of the soldiers, the spokesman said. Abdullah also prayed for the swift recovery of the soldiers injured in the accident. The Northern Command said Lieutenant General M.V. Suchindra Kumar and all ranks of Juba Command extend their deepest condolences on the tragic loss of 5 brave soldiers. The Juba Command stands firm with the bereaved families in this hour of grief, the command said on X. All ranks of White Knight Corps extend their deepest condolences. Rescue operations are going on and the injured personnel are receiving medical care, the White Knight Corps said on X. A harrowing video taken by a passenger inside the cabin of an aircraft that crashed in Kazakhstan today has been shared widely on social media, showing the final moments of the doom plane. 38 people were killed in the crash near Aktau, an oil and gas hub on the eastern shore of the Caspian Sea. In the video, the passenger is heard saying, "Allahu Akbar, God is great," as the plane goes into a steep descent. Yellow oxygen masks were seen dangling over the siege. Screaming and crying were heard amid the soft doorbell-like sound of the weird seatbelt light. The plane was flying from the Azerbaijani capital Baku on the western shore of the Caspian to the city of Grozny in Chechnya in the southern Russia. Azerbaijan Airlines, the country's flag carrier, said the plane made an emergency landing around 3 kilometers from Aktau. Another video taken inside the cabin, the plane's ceiling panel that has reading lights and air blower is upside down, showed people screaming for help. The video was clearly after the plane had crashed. The final moments of the Azerbaijan airplane's planned airline's plane before it crashed in Kazakhstan were captured by a passenger on board. Azerbaijani authorities say 32 people survived the crash of the Embraer 190, a narrow-body passenger aircraft. Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev declared Thursday a day of national mourning and canceled a planned visit to Russia for an informal summit of the leaders of Commonwealth of Independent States (CIS), a grouping of former Soviet nations. The Kazakh Emergency Situations Ministry said it staffed to put out a fire which broke out when the plane crashed. The Health Ministry said a special flight was being sent from the Kazakh capital Astana with specialist doctors to treat the injured. Russian President Vladimir Putin held a phone conversation with Aliyev and also expressed his condolences in connection with the crash. His spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, told a news conference. A Russian Emergency Situations Ministry had been sent to Aktau with medical personnel and other equipment, President Putin said later as he opened the CIS leaders meeting in St. Petersburg. Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov said on Telegram, "I express my condolences to the relatives of the passengers of the Azerbaijan airline jet who died." The plane's course on flight rather showed it crossing the Caspian Sea away from its normal route and then circling over the area where it eventually crashed. Kazakhstan said it had opened an investigation. Protests erupted in Christian neighborhoods of the Syrian capital Damascus after a Christmas tree was set on fire in another town by an unidentified man on Monday evening. A video showing men setting fire to a publicly displayed Christmas tree in the Christian majority town of succumbed near the city of Hama emerged online, prompting the protest. It's unclear who set the tree on fire, but a video surfaced of a rebel standing next to Christian priests vowing to punish the perpetrators. Next morning, you will see the tree completely restored, the unidentified rebel told a protesting group next to the burned Christmas tree. The incident came 3 weeks since opposition rebels led a successful campaign to topple President Bashar al-Assad. Syria's Christians now join those in Lebanon and Palestinian territories celebrating Christmas amid great uncertainty and fear in the region. The protesters in the capital marched towards charges to demand better protections for Christians in the country. Gers, a 24-year-old Catholic resident of Damascus who chose to give only his first name to speak freely, told CNN. When Islamist rebels swept through Syria's second-largest city in an operation that would eventually culminate in the ouster of the brutal Assad regime, Christians were given assurance that their churches and property would remain protected. Under Assad, Christians were allowed to celebrate their holidays and practice their rituals, but like all Syrians faced tyrannical limitations on freedom of speech and political activity. In control of most of Syria now is the Islamist armed rebel group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, led by Ahmed al-Shara, formerly known as Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, a man who has established al-Qaeda's affiliate in Syria before rebranding his group in 2016. Al-Shara has maintained that his group will protect minorities and religious sections of Syria, but has yet to call for specifically for the protections for Christians ahead of the Christmas celebrations. The HTS-led government said that Wednesday, December 25 and Thursday, December 26 will be a public holiday. Residents of the Syrian capital Damascus tell CNN that HTS has not imposed any limitations on celebrations or prayers this year, but Christians still fear that non-HTS armed elements could attack them. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.